There we go. Hi Poppets, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to talk about something that I know not just me wants. The Marauders, all to do with Voldemort and the Marauders. Seriously, so many of us want this. So we're going to talk about this today. And if this is the first time you see my face, hello and welcome to my channel. If you love anything to do with Harry Potter, I'm sorry, I just shouted at you. This is the place for you. Hit that subscribe button because I'd love to have you. Massive thank you to these guys. These guys are my Patreons. They help me keep this channel running just that little bit more. If you'd like to know anything about Patreon, it's linked in the description of this video, along with my social medias. Go see what I'm up to on those. So to us, the whole story starts with Harry, right? We've all seen that scene, right? Where obviously poor Lily and James, on that horrible night, Halloween night, bless them, and obviously Voldemort comes in, he kills them, leaving poor Harry, bless him, an orphan. And obviously we learn in that scene about Harry's scar, obviously where it came from, how it got there. And obviously the story leads on and on and on up until defeating Voldemort, spoilers. And then after our beloved Harry Potter series, the Wizarding World takes us back to Fantastic Beasts times. And it takes us all the way back to 1926. And it will eventually lead us to 1945 when Grindelwald and Dumbledore have their duel, their fight. So Fantastic Beasts is set starting at 1926. Let me tell you, some of you probably already know this, some of you won't, but I'm telling you anyway, okay, just shush, listen. Voldemort was born on the 31st of December, 1926. And obviously he was known as Tom Riddle back then. Now, Voldemort started Hogwarts in 1938, okay? But he finished his schooling at Hogwarts in 1945, the year that Grindelwald and Dumbledore have their fight. And when Tom Riddle, let's call him because he wasn't Voldemort back then, when Tom Riddle finished his schooling at Hogwarts in 1945, he started working in a shop that we all know down Nocturne Alley called Borgin and Burke's. Before I carry on with this kind of timeline, I just want to say a couple of my thoughts, right? So during this series, are we going to see Tom Riddle in the school at all? Are we going to see things maybe but like in the background? I don't know, we're going to have to keep an eye out. I know obviously the focus is on Dumbledore and Grindelwald, but obviously, well, Tom Riddle was a big part in those years at school. He was nasty. He learned how to make Horcruxes. He was the cause of, Moaning Myrtle's death. Are we going to see anything within the films? I don't know, but there are so many questions about that. I know it's not focused on Hogwarts, obviously Fantastic Beasts, so we probably won't, but it would be cool. It would be cool, and I think if we did see anything, it might be a lead up to something, maybe a Marauders film, maybe, or series films, maybe. So in 1970, Voldemort rises to power, and between 1970 and 1974 is when he starts collecting all his little Death Eater crew. And his power begins with being the cause of some very strange disappearances from wizards that are of power. Now, from 1971 to 1978, within Hogwarts, we had Lily, James, Lupin, Sirius, and the little rat, Peter. I mean, we could have the whole story. So, I mean, look at the time. I mean, obviously, yes, Voldemort left in 1945, but he rose to power in 1970, and a year later in 1971, the Marauders and Lily, they were all at Hogwarts. And Peter, we have all seen that scene where Voldemort murders Harry's parents, right? We have all seen that, but I want to see, I mean, we kind of get the gist of the Marauders in a way, but I'd like to see it. But with Voldemort, I want to see, was he scarier back then than he was in Harry's time? I mean, we know as well that Hogwarts students-wise, in Harry's year, it was a small year group, and this could have had something to do with the amount of deaths that Voldemort caused. I mean, has J.K. Rowling done it a bit differently? Has she done Harry and his story? And then obviously now we're on Fantastic Beasts, like way back in 1926. And then are we going to get a Marauders and to do with Voldemort and to see Peter Pettigrew, I hate that name, see him portray James and Lily? Are we going to get to see that story? I've got a good feeling that we might. I mean, it fits in. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel that it fits in. Does anybody feel the same? We've got Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts, Voldemort's born when that starts in 1926, and then 1945 is the fight of Grindelwald and Dumbledore, and that's the year that Voldemort, obviously, Tom Riddle, leaves Hogwarts. He leaves his schooling, he's finished, but he's already caused deaths, and he's just rising and rising with power. So are we going to get, when Grindelwald and Dumbledore have had their little duel, well, it's not little, but you know what I mean, when they've done that, is Voldemort then going to come in? Like, is he going to come in all sassy and be like, yeah, I'm in charge now? I mean, let me know what you think in the comments, guys, but I personally will be so shocked if it doesn't happen. I'm going to be really shocked if it doesn't happen. I want to see a Marauders and Voldemort of Tom Riddle growing, and I don't know why I want to see a villain grow, but the story is all based around him in a sense and what he did, and I'd like to see it, yes, but I honestly think it will happen. But yeah, let me know what you think. Talk to me in the comments. You know I love it when you do. And not only that, I'd like to see Tom Riddle's years at Hogwarts. I'd like to see that. I mean, obviously, not that I want to see how many Myrtle dies, but obviously that happens. And then you've got Hagrid that got the blame for opening the Chamber of Secrets. We know it happens, but I want to see it. I want to see the whole of that story rolled out in front of us. I want to see it on the screen. And another thing, so Grindelwald, obviously at the minute we're on Fantastic Beasts 2 and he's collecting his followers. Does Tom Riddle know about this? Does he know? Obviously he's a school child, so he might not be able to join Grindelwald's followers or anything, I don't know. But is he aware of Grindelwald? Is Grindelwald an idol to him, and is that why he became what he did? There's so many questions. And another thing, who is Credence? I'm sick of this now. Who is Credence? If you're new here, I'm really sorry, but I literally have shouted that out. Who is Credence so many times. What do you think, guys? Could we get a Marauders series? And obviously to do with Voldemort. Talk to me in the comments, seriously. I want to get a conversation going about this. I personally think there's going to be one. If you have any reason to believe that there isn't, then yeah, let me know in the comments. But I feel there is going to be one. That much so, I will be so disappointed and shocked if there isn't. Because like I said, it makes sense. You've got Harry and his series. Then it goes way back into 1926 with Fantastic Beasts and obviously that era. But then that leads into when obviously Voldemort's about, and then the Marauders and Lily and all their stories. Oh my days, we need to have a Marauders. It's just not even a want anymore, is it? It's a need. But yeah, that is the end of today's video, guys. I just wanted to talk about this because it's been on my mind for a while, and I just wanted to talk about the links that I see in with it, that tie in. Yeah, I'm gonna go now because I'm getting rather excited with myself. But I will speak to you all in my next video. Bye, Pods Poppets.